Karoline Leavitt stood at the White House press briefing on March 11, 2026, and told reporters that Donald Trump did not sign the check to Jeffrey Epstein.
If you're in a mood to thank someone, thank Amy Schuster. That is what I would have told our first guest tonight before he tweeted this at 9:56 a.m. The only reason these emails are out is Lawrence had the survivors' lawyers who gave me the tip to subpoena the estate. Why did Justice or the FBI not get and release these? Congressman Ro Khanna was booked on July 23rd of this year. He followed that night an appearance by attorney Brad Edwards, who revealed that the way for Congress to obtain a massive trove of information about Jeffrey Epstein would be to subpoena Jeffrey Epstein's estate. Brad Edwards was booked on this program that night by Amy Schuster, whose job is to find us the best lineup of guests possible for this program. Having Brad Edwards, who is an attorney for hundreds of the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein, join us on this program that night was Amy Schuster's idea. Congress issued the subpoena that produced these emails because Brad Edwards suggested that they do that on this program. Congressman Ro Khanna, who was the next guest on this program that night, immediately said on television that night that he would take up that suggestion, and then he helped lead the charge for the subpoena issued by the House. Maybe Donald Trump's presidency could come to an end. Donald Trump could become the second president to resign the presidency, second Republican president to resign the presidency. Donald Trump knows exactly how bad it can get because he knows everything about his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. This might be the worst of it, what we've discovered in Jeffrey Epstein's emails today. And if it is, then Donald Trump can probably survive this.
What we have suspected for a long time. He likes his press secretary, Karoline Leavitt, for the two reasons that are most important to Donald Trump. Unending loyalty to the degree of a cult follower. She is unendingly loyal to Trump, like a devoted cultist. Number two, Trump finds her physically attractive. These are the most valuable traits to Donald Trump. And Trump, when asked about possibly replacing Leavitt, starts talking about her machine gun lips.
Talk to him. And I've never failed in working it out like immediately. Is that right? How's Caroline doing? Is she doing good?
Wait,
Should Caroline be replaced?
no. That's up to you, sir.
It'll never happen.
Nobody wants to.
It'll never
I'm pretty sure you did a great job. Do you want to elaborate on the
And those lips, they move like a machine.
Those lips, they move like a machine gun, right? Those lips, that face when it comes to Karoline Leavitt. He is making it very clear. He is very attracted to Karoline Leavitt. That is worth its weight in gold when it comes to job security under Donald Trump.
Bye-bye, Karoline Leavitt. But this is the news that we all need delivered from the big man, Karoline Leavitt, the worst press secretary in American history and the biggest liar in that White House, not named Donald Trump, will be taking some time off propagandizing on behalf of the president, backing billionaires, defending pedophiles, what she always does, that Lawrence O'Donnell had to break down right here.
The Justice Department is and will remain completely corrupted. They therefore have no credibility at all in anything that they say about the Epstein files. And so when Todd Blanche tells you that something is fake in the Epstein files, like a handwritten letter from Jeffrey Epstein to another pedophile in prison, Todd Blanche should not be able to convince anyone that that letter is fake. There are real reasons to believe it is fake, and there are ways of determining it is fake. But Todd Blanche does not have the credibility necessary to make that case. So all of the assessment of what is and isn't fake in the Epstein files will be made outside of the Trump Justice Department because the Trump Justice Department is completely corrupted and there to do nothing other than try to defend Donald Trump. Todd Blanche lied today in a written statement about the Epstein files, saying that any of the negative information about Donald Trump in the Epstein files, if true, quote, certainly would have been weaponized against President Trump already. That is a lie. That is Todd Blanche pretending that the Biden Justice Department or the Obama Justice Department were corrupt like the Trump Justice Department. The Epstein files contains a claim by Jeffrey Epstein's brother that he believes without evidence that Donald Trump had Jeffrey Epstein killed in prison. The brother offers no evidence of that. There is no evidence of that. And that claim existed in the Epstein files during the Biden presidency. And no one in Merrick Garland's Justice Department ever dreamed of releasing that information. No one weaponized that unfounded claim by Jeffrey Epstein's brother. Since Todd Blanche works in a completely corrupted Justice Department, he knows what he would have done with statements like that about an enemy of Donald Trump's.
The check released by the House Oversight Committee showed a payment labeled as a fully depreciated girl, and Karoline Leavitt's response was straightforward. She said it wasn't Donald Trump's signature, insisted it was absolutely not authentic, and told reporters that forensic analysts had confirmed that conclusion. She repeated that claim with complete confidence, even saying the White House would support a professional handwriting review. Later that night on MSNBC, Lawrence O'Donnell challenged that argument in a completely different way. Instead of debating Leavitt's claims, he pulled out an original check that Donald Trump had personally sent him back in January 2016. It wasn't a photocopy or a leaked document, it was the actual check O'Donnell had kept in his desk for 10 years. Trump had written it as a charity donation in O'Donnell's name, even though O'Donnell said he declined it because he was covering Trump during the presidential campaign. Trump sent it anyway, adding a handwritten note in the memo line that simply said, "Donald." O'Donnell then displayed that signature next to the signature on the Epstein birthday card and argued that the two looked remarkably alike, pointing to the same handwriting style, similar strokes, the distinctive capital D with its extended loop, and the flourish at the end, saying they were more similar than many examples of his own signature over time. His point was that he wasn't relying on speculation because he had an original document for comparison. Earlier, Leavitt had referenced a Daily Signal article that she said quoted 3 separate signature analysts who concluded the signature was not authentic, but she didn't identify those analysts, explain their credentials, or describe how they reached that conclusion. O'Donnell argued that he had something more concrete, an original document personally sent by Trump, and invited viewers to compare the signatures themselves. He also argued that the White House had centered its defense on handwriting rather than addressing the broader context, whether the event happened, or what the phrase "fully depreciated girl" meant. According to O'Donnell, Trump's signature has a distinctive style with bold, elongated strokes and a recognizable flourish, and he said both the 2016 check and the Epstein-related document shared those characteristics. Leavitt had said the president neither wrote nor signed the Epstein birthday card, while O'Donnell maintained that the signature on the separate check closely matched Trump's verified handwriting from the original document in his possession. He also noted that Trump has signed thousands of public documents over the years, making his signature style widely available for comparison, and argued that the Epstein-related signature fit that pattern. By contrast, he said the analysts cited by Leavitt remained unnamed, no methodology had been made public, and no original comparison documents had been presented. As of the time described in this account, Leavitt had not publicly responded to O'Donnell's segment, and the White House had not released the names of the handwriting analysts it said reviewed the signature.